Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations, episode 14.
Hello.
As usual, it's Pete, myself, and the car. Pete, I think we should give the car a name.
The car a name?
Bernie,
Sticky.
Yeah, probably a Star Wars name, you know. Yeah. Something from the cantina, probably.
Alright, I don't know. Knackered Speeder.
There you go. Okay. Anyway, we're on episode 14, which is, we're really getting through the characters. Today we're going to focus on C3PO, probably the most overused rebel character.
Overused? Oh yeah, he's in a lot of lists these days.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the scum and villainy able to take him as well, he seems to make his way into their lists too. Yeah. You know. And let's talk about why. So, C3PO, he costs 2 points. He's a named character for the rebels only. I say rebels only. Obviously, you can take them with special abilities or
get him in a scum list, can't you?
Yeah, with the cards, you know, allow you to cross this build. You can only take one of them. He's got the droid keyword. Only the droid. That's it. So he's got health 4. He's speed 3. He's defense 1 white dice, and his attack blank. So he doesn't attack.
Doesn't fight. He fights even less than R2-D2, which is, you know, in line with the movies. Well,
yeah, it would be if C3PO had an attack, it would have been a bit weird. So it's good that he doesn't, to be honest. But here's why he's so good. So let's talk about his abilities. For an action, he's got Inform. Choose an adjacent friendly figure. That figure becomes focused. Typically, C3PO is an awesome activation at the start to just, you know, I'm going to throw up a focus to somebody. You know, that obvious tactic there, really.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what C3PO does. He gives away focus tokens.
That's basically his attack. He's 1 green dice via somebody else, isn't he?
Yeah, he passes it on. He's got the ability Cower. This is active all the time. It's the same as the Imperial Guard officers. So while defending, while adjacent to a friendly figure, you may reroll 1 defense die. So, you know, it's a strong ability, but you know, it is obviously very defensive. And his big ability, this is why he's so massive. While distracting, while a friendly figure is defending and you're adjacent to that target space, apply +1 surge block to the defense results. That is massive, especially with the amount of characters who actually, you know, need the surge blocks. You know, if you've got a black dice and you've got a surge block in there as well. Those characters, you know, the Nexu, they get the +1. They get +1 block for every surge protection in there, so they just get 1 block.
Does Solo do something similar, or is it Solo or Chewbacca?
Chewie adds Chewie's got Guardian. He adds an extra block.
Right.
Solo's got Distracting. Can't remember what that does.
It might be the same thing. It might be the same thing. I'm not sure. It will be because it's the same name of the rule. But yeah, he's throwing down surge blocks to everyone next to him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's absolutely huge. The fact
it's also his downfall as well.
He doesn't attack, but it doesn't really matter. But the fact he has to be adjacent to someone, he gives them the surge block, and then he's got the Cower as well, so he has to be adjacent. So yeah, C3PO is in his element when he's next to somebody.
He needs to be in the middle of the crowd, doesn't he?
He has to be,
or just behind it.
He's next to people, and that's it. Period. You know, he is savage for what he does, and for 2 points, to me, he's just like, he's a beast. He's a beast who doesn't attack.
A golden camp droidy beast.
Yeah, I should point out he's also got non-combatant. You cannot attack, so no matter what, you can't get Leia or somebody, or you can't give him you could give him a focus token, but you can't do anything with it.
Nope.
So
pretty much not in skirmish.
Yeah, this guy, this is actually, I think, is the only guy who's not allowed to fight at all.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, it's the only one. So he's usually not too far from the fight. So speaking as mainly Imperial player, you know, although he's tough to kill if he rolls lucky on his dice with his reroll.
Yeah.
He's usually not too far away from the fight. He's usually hanging around somewhere where you can get at him.
He is, yeah.
So he can roll blank twice if you shoot him. And he will die. He's only worth 2 points, but he's a prime suspect for Celebrate, the command card.
Yeah.
So he can be worth 6.
He's got, He's only a health 4 as well, so he's
Health 4, yeah. And,
he's a little bit.
you know, it can be a cheap kill if the wind's behind you. But at the same time, if you do kill him early game or mid game, it's not a massive loss to your opponent. You know, it is only 2 or 6 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a very strong character.
Just handing out the focus tokens every time.
Yeah, you want to shut that down as the opponent. You want to shut that down very quickly because focus is kill stormtroopers.
I find that he usually dies to blast more than anything.
Yeah.
That seems to be his common death.
Yeah.
So let's talk about lists he's good and bad in. So I actually think that this guy is so all-round good, it's hard to put him in a bad list, in a way. He's so cheap. You know, if you got a spam list, he's amazing because he's giving your spam fighters a green dice.
He's not eating into the number of spam people because he's so cheap.
No, he's giving them great defense. You know, he's just brilliant for doing that.
He's arguably better with heroes because he's keeping them alive longer.
He keeps them alive. He actually gives them an extra dice so they can kill things quicker. You know, he does not actually have he doesn't really have a bad side. As I say, he's probably the most taken character because he's just so
I'll tell you, the worst list you could take him inside is probably, you put him in a scum list, and the scum list is mainly Banthas or Nexus or Wampas, things that are moving around quickly, because C3PO will struggle to keep up with him and do his thing.
I was going to say the other list I don't think he'd do well in is probably a spy list, and I don't think that quite exists right now. No. But when it does, you know, when we have a spy list which is incredibly mobile and can move 10 squares and can be anywhere in a turn, because this guy's speed 3, he can't move with the force, so he works with the fighting force a lot more so than anything else.
He's an entrenchment guy, isn't he? He's a siege fella, definitely. He's not. If you're zipping around the map trying to do stuff, he's going to get left behind and shot and, you know, knocked over basically.
Yeah. But you know, even I mentioned the Nexu earlier. The Nexu are speed 6 and he's only speed 3, so he's actually still quite a hard one to.
I mean, he can give the focus and then off the Nexu goes and does his thing, but then, you know, after that, the Nexu doesn't have to be running back to him to get a focus. It's, you know, it's not going to work at all.
He doesn't always work, but he's really good for his points value.
I mean, there's no bad rebel list to put him in. No bad rebel list at all.
Not that exists yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the command cards then. So I've got 3 here as usual. We're running out of no more droid cards, so these are cards that I thought might complement C3PO, and we can talk them out about, you know, any old list as well. So first off, Improvised Weapons. Any figure. This is 0 points and it costs 1. Now this is an interesting card, and I actually wanted to debate it rather than anything. So for an action, perform a gun attack using a green and yellow die. You cannot use abilities during this attack. What I found interesting was, can he use that?
No.
Because he cannot attack.
He can't attack, no. So that special action,
that won't overrule that.
It's an attack action. No,
it is an attack action. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, let's talk about it with other lists then.
Yeah.
You know, this to me is an attack, and it's probably worse than most people's attack. Green and yellow is a bit piss poor, but you know, you give it to Wampas, Nexu.
Yeah. Wampa vomit. Is it a range one? Yeah.
It's a ranged attack. Yeah. So it's got a green and yellow die.
Throw a rock, I guess it is, isn't it? It's rubbish. It's crude.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's not geared for shooting, picking something up and throwing it.
It says improvised weapons. So
that's exactly what it is.
It's not a real attack.
Green, yellow. Green can have a bit of damage and a bit of range.
Yellow is lots of surge.
But you can't use abilities.
No abilities. So it's actually quite a. Surges don't count. So it's actually quite a weak attack. This costs 0 points. I've never seen anyone use it before.
No, it's not. It costs you 1 slot in your deck, and I don't think it's worth it at all.
It costs a slot in your deck, and it costs an action when you're using it. I think if this didn't cost an action, it would be a heavily used card.
Well, it would be slightly more than never, which is what we've never seen it, have we?
But
I don't know. It's still weak.
Think about it. This doesn't cost an action to perform an attack. It would still take up your attack for the turn.
Yeah.
So with some characters,
it's a desperate thing. If you've got a Wampa, I mean Wampas, you've got to get them in obviously to do their damage.
Yeah.
If you've not quite, what was the range? Oh no, the range is the dice, isn't it? The range is probably about 3 or 4 squares max.
No, not even that.
Not even that.
Green's got 1, 2, and 3 on it.
Yeah,
but,
the yellow's got a 1 on it, so it's up to 4.
But it's
more likely 2 or 3. So it's rubbish.
Green is guaranteed to get. Green's guaranteed range, but it's still it doesn't have a good range.
If your Wampa or whatever is that close, you should be doing it anyway.
It should be close combat.
We must be missing a trick with this car.
I don't think we are. I think it's exactly what we're saying here.
Yeah.
But that isn't great, is it? Well, I'm hardly going to trade in my Wampa 2 red dice with his +2 damage and all that sort of stuff.
No, and if you got him in a place where he could maybe shoot somebody from 2 squares away but can't swipe with his claws, you've done it wrong with the Wampa.
Well, it does happen though. Wampa's only movement 3.
Yeah.
But, okay, so but that card's a bit of a fail for both of us. I just wanted to. I guess I wanted to put it out there to kind of say you can't use it with
I don't think
C3PO. No, you cannot attack is fairly obvious.
And it says perform an attack.
All right. Well, the next card we can use with C3PO. Jump jets. Any small figure. You can use 1 and it costs 1. For an action, place your figure on an empty space within 5 spaces. The reason I thought
what a strange place to put this card, but yeah, a nice one.
No, the reason I think of it as for C3PO is because he's movement 3.
Yeah.
Most people have movement 4 or whatever. So C3PO with a jump jet can suddenly move 5, focus people, get himself. He can put himself in a position that he couldn't usually get to, or he'd have to run to in a maniacal way. But this way, it kind of works.
No, it's really good idea. Yeah, I didn't think of that at all.
It's. The thing I've found is, I see that the Imperials take jump jets a lot more than.
Yeah. It's the troopers trudging around at speed 4, and if they need to just early or late game get
put them somewhere weird, or you need to get up that stairs.
A good combo is this with a sneaky grenadier up your sleeve, because the grenade is 3 spaces, and you'll be sitting there going, I'm 1 space away from getting it where I need it. Oh, hang on, I've got jump jets.
Jump jet himself into a perfect position and kill everyone. Yeah. No, I think jump jets is a very good, powerful card. It is 1 point though. Is it worth it?
I've always got it in my spam list. Yeah, always, because if you have it in your hand, it sits there a long time, and but suddenly there's you nearly always every game get the chance to use it effectively.
Yeah, it is +1 movement essentially for a stormtrooper. You need that too.
Just get around that corner, or get over all that nasty terrain on the Hoth maps.
Yeah.
Somebody's sitting there going, he's never going to get to me because of the trenches and the blah blah blah. So you jump jet over, hurl a grenade, or take a shot round a corner, all that sort of stuff. You're kind of stuck after you've used it though that way, because you've got no actions to get back out again.
As a trooper, and you can afford to get them killed.
It's not generate movement points to be spent as you wish. It's you must immediately go 5 spaces, and it ignores terrain and all that. So I love it. It's a good card.
It's not a card I ever put in my deck, but you know what? I think if you've got better positioning, or a smaller force is not as handy. It's when you actually need to put people in positions that.
The grenade. I use it most often for a grenade delivery vehicle, but I've used it for other things like contesting a terminal when it's absolutely vital to contest a terminal and not let them have control of it.
Getting into space.
You can go 9 spaces instead of 8, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, you can jump through people as well. So that's
Getting past Banthers.
It's a good.
Getting past walkers.
It's a good card. I'll give you that. But it's just one I never actually seem to have the space for it.
No, fair enough. It is I've took it out a couple of games and put it back in again, but it's most often there.
All right, cool. And let's talk about our last card. This is the C3PO Etiquette and Protocol. C3PO only card. This is his unique card. It costs 2 points, and you can have 1 in your deck. For an action, so C3PO action obviously, choose 1 hostile and 1 friendly figure, both in your line of sight. Until the end of the round, these figures cannot declare attacks targeting each other.
Right. No other benefit, no?
No, that's it. Do you know what I've actually thought about this card? It's an interesting one, because what you could do is
that's massive.
You could put it on a large target, and you've got your Luke Skywalker or Biv or someone who's like ready to go and attack your large target.
Yeah.
Your Wampa or whatever. Something that's going to block the line of sight.
Yeah.
You go and use that, and then if they don't activate that character next, you can actually block up seats. You can block up half your force. What about a bantha? Like put in front of
they
everyone?
can't attack each other. It's just two. One of yours and one of theirs can't attack each other. They still move and stuff and attack somebody else.
Yeah, but I'm saying you put a bantha in the way of everyone.
Yeah.
You're going to have to use C3PO first, obviously. Put it on Biv, and if
I see what you mean.
Biv and the bantha.
Use some fat thing as a.
And then the next turn happens, and then the bantha goes forwards and does its thing and stands in the way. And then suddenly Biv's useless. He can't actually attack anyone because he can't attack that bantha that's blocking everyone's line of sight.
Yeah.
And Biv doesn't have enough movement to get through it. I'm being very. How do I say it? I'm being very, very presumptuous that this situation actually occurs.
Yeah.
And I think your opponent's a bit blind not to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, the obvious situation is where you've got Luke Skywalker on 2 health, about to be gunned down by Mr. X, and then you throw this card down. Mr. X and Luke, you're not allowed to shoot each other, and then the whole rest of your force goes after Mr. X. You know, whoever it is, Boba Fett, whatever.
That's definitely a better example than mine.
I thought that's the obvious. It's to save somebody's ass.
Yeah.
So that you can bring the rest of your force, to bear to remove the threat, or give you time to get him out of the way of the threat. It seems to be for saving a hero.
Is it worth 2 points?
I don't think so. Gut feeling is I don't think so. 1 point it would be worth it.
I find it actually quite a hard. It's incredibly situational.
It is, yeah.
If you pick this up, on your turn.
It's a last chance saloon card, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could use it in some cheesy way, as you suggested, Si. But it's a delaying card. That's all it does at the end of the day. It stops everybody firing for a turn, or if you block up a corridor with a big fat bantha. Bear in mind, it only stops. In your example, it only stop Biv shooting at the bantha. Everybody else could still shoot.
What about it's good against the Royal Guard champion and stuff.
Oh yeah. If the Royal Guard champ's about to swarm in and kill your best person, you can save that best person with this card and get him out of the way, or throw the rest of your force in front to block.
What I find funny about this card is, ironically, it usually means the C3PO ends up getting shot.
Yes.
Because he has to see the target using it.
Well, that's always fun, shooting 3PO down.
Yeah, so he kind of asks for it, I guess. I have put it in my deck a few times, and every time I've come out, I've found disappointed that I can't use it in a perfect position. So
it is very situational, I think, at first glance to me, because I've not seen it used, to be honest. No, I've never seen it used. A weird one, but yeah, I think it's just to try and save somebody out my list type of card. But 2 points? Nah, not me.
No, I guess it's been dropped from me for the last few rounds, so yeah, it'll probably stay dropped. And lastly, let's talk about the model.
Yeah, it's C-3PO stood up, holding his arms up in that sort of weird droidy kind of way.
I like it. I like it. It's kind of a traditional pose.
Good detail on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Very easy to paint, I would imagine. You can spend weeks on it, or you can do it in an hour.
Yeah, silver leg or red arm?
Silver leg.
Yeah, I did silver leg too.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the.
That's the time zone.
Yeah, when are we? What time zone are we talking about it with a red arm?
Although I've seen some very nice red arm, paint jobs on the old Facebook group. Really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so far you can go with a very tiny red arm, but so people have done well on it.
They painted it red.
But yeah, they're wrong.
I actually think he was the easiest model I've ever painted too.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about getting my 6-year-old to paint my 3PO, because I've not done mine yet.
Yeah.
Just give her the brush and the gold pot and say, there you go.
Do your best.
Yeah. Because I won't be using him that much.
Yeah, no, good call. Alright, well, cheers for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Cheerio.
Bye.